Welcome back to another episode of the Block Party with Girardi. We are joined, obviously, by Dan Girardi. I'm Seth Kushner. How you doing, man?
Oh, feeling great, man.
Are
back
you?
From the holidays.
We haven't talked in a while.
A little hungover from the holidays, but not bad.
Okay, now we're joined. This is actually great because the last episode we had, or one of the last episodes we had Killer on, and you guys had like a 5-minute chirp fest on JT Miller talking about his hats, and now he's joining us today.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Millsy heard it on the podcast on Spotify. He listened to it on the plane all the way here, but no, we had Killer on, and it was pretty fun to poke a little fun at Millsy here, and I wanted to get him on to have a little rebuttal to the Killer chirps, and we kind of want to roast Killer a little bit here, but some of the stuff we can't say on air.
So what's the deal? Girardi was saying last time that he has never seen anybody wear as many hats as you. He's seen you step out of the shower and the first thing you do is put a hat on. You don't even towel off. What is the deal with the hat? Are you covering up anything? Because you've got hair. Everything looks good.
Listen, he and I both know that I actually have something to hold on to with the hat up there, and he is lacking in that department.
Yeah, we all know there's a little tin up top over here.
I don't think a hat would hurt you money every once in a while.
I got my Wellington hat on, as usual.
What's the weirdest hat? Are you addicted to hats, or you just?
No, I got a lot of hats. I'm a big hat guy. I just don't like doing my hair, and I normally have longer hair, so I don't like. It's very full.
He will do up his hair for warm up though. It looks really good.
God.
LA looks just
LA looks
nice and
followed
flat
up by spray, and it stays.
That thing does not move.
Just
when you high step warm up, that thing is not moving. That is not moving.
I heard also, I was watching some YouTube stuff with you, and it said that, or you said that you used to have a wallet that you had since you were like a kid for 13 years, and people called it the George Costanza. Did you know about that, Girardi?
You guys do here?
We all we do is YouTube guys and Google guys, and then we just talk.
No, we go, Millsy, tell us about the season you're having. Great year. No, this is what we want to know about.
No, we don't care. The wallet's funny.
I had that wallet since I was 15 years old, and my wife got me a new one for Christmas last year, and it might be bigger than that one. It's like a folder.
it's like my passport folder.
It's gigantic.
Was this something that you guys had talked about before? Like, did you know that he had that massive wallet?
Well, no, when he first comes into the league and you see this young guy pulling out this massive wallet like my dad had when I was a kid, I was like, this guy cannot be serious right now.
We pretty much wore the same outfits, your dad and I.
Yeah. You guys both have New Balances. You guys are both wearing jeans and New Balances is the best.
So before I've got some stuff that we might not be able to talk about, but G, do you have anything for Millsy while he's here?
Well, all our fans in New York out there want to hear. We asked Espo, we asked Matt, guys used to play in New York. Any certain story that sticks out, like a welcome to New York moment, or just a classic New Yorker experience with someone in the city, or just any favorite memory you had in New York?
Well, I remember, just off the top of my head, obviously I can think of stuff for days.
Well, you're not prepared.
I was thinking about this all night. I got no sleep. I remember it was like my first or second game, and we went to a close game, and Hank played unbelievable. And I remember they had the Hank, or what did he say? Henry. And I remember the chant they had, and it was so loud, and it was just like rocking in there. And I just was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. And then obviously when I got to play my first game with the Garden, I scored a couple goals. So I'd say that was definitely my special moment. I think I took about 30 or 40 games off after that. And then my next 8 to 10 goals are in the minors.
Classic Millsy.
The next 10 goals are in the minors.
We could talk about it. You just said minors and stuff. We could dust on a little bit here, just on the top of the thing here. But there was a moment when now you're in Vancouver. But we were all visiting Vancouver. We can edit this out later.
I'm keeping this. This sounds good.
So, it's a day before a game, and him and another guy went out a little bit.
Do we allowed to say who it is?
F it. Cam Talbot. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, straight super.
Excuse. No, we can edit that part out. But, they honestly, from what I heard, they were not out late. Curfew's at 12. I think it was not very much later than that. Yep. But someone saw them coming in the lobby across the street from the hotel, and I don't know the whole story. Maybe he can back it up a little bit, but all I remember is after the game and we're on the plane, all of a sudden you see Glenn Sather just walking back. We're like, oh, I wonder what Glenn's doing. Millsy, I never seen it before, got sent home to Hartford mid-plane ride on the way to somewhere.
I had to,
maybe he can fill it more.
So I just got called back up. Thought I played pretty well against, I think, Calgary. Apparently that was not the case, and I was taken back out of the lineup. I was pretty frustrated. I think we got into Vancouver. We had a team team party that night. So we went out, and then the next night was the night before the game, and I found out I was scratched again. I was pretty frustrated. So me and a guy we didn't just say might have went out again, and we're coming back obviously from the place like right across the street. So when that happened, I didn't know about it, and the crappy part was we stayed over again. And then we all went out again. So I went out a night after, before anybody knowing this. And then I got on the plane, and everybody's hurting a little bit. And Glenn starts walking back, and I'm sitting there. And we had a couch on the plane at that time, and he just gives me the, come here. He has a talk with me about how, whatever, I'm not figuring it out. He's like, you know where you're going? You're going to Hartford. And I'm like, all right. So we took off on the plane. I'm like this plane's going to Colorado. So I had to apologize to the whole team about going out. And everybody's just sitting there like, oh my God, like, shut up, Milsey. Like, no one cares.
Make it stop.
So I just sit next to Brad Richards for 3.5 hours to Colorado, and he's just like, I felt like Dr. Phil, like, just sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to ride there, and then I got off the plane, and they're like, okay, you're going to go on that plane now. So I had to get I remember you guys were on the bus, and they're pulling away to go to the hotel, and I'm sitting there with my gear and my sticks, just like saying,
you're going to the main terminal.
Yeah, that was like that was definitely my crap together.
Get your poop together.
Totally.
But ever since then, you've been lights out. Just want to let you know that.
It's always Vancouver. You notice that? I got traded on the way to Vancouver.
Yeah, and now you're in Vancouver, and I must say you are doing very well.
Thank you.
I couldn't be happier for you. And,
thank you.
Maybe back up a little bit and just talk about, obviously this is the Tampa Bay-based podcast.
Yeah.
Talk about your first impressions coming to Tampa, and obviously was not a long time, year and a half.
Yep.
Well, I was only here 2 years, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But year and a half here. What are your thoughts on Tampa?
I had a great time here. Obviously, as an unreal group of guys, I think that I was excited because I got to come with Mac, and I think for that being my first trade and at the deadline, my wife was like 8 months pregnant at the time. It was kind of a crazy scenario. To come with Mac was nice. They were kind of shipping everybody out in New York at that time, and then obviously G here and Callie here, and even Strawman, guys I got played with before, and it was really exciting. And obviously, the Tampa, I knew how good the team was, and had a good shot. And then the playoff run was awesome. Obviously, we're one game away from going to play against, was it Vegas?
Yeah, it would have been
one
Vegas,
game. One game against, you know what I mean. Obviously, we're a series away from, a life-changing experience, and then we obviously had a hell of a run last year that just somehow ended that quickly. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I made a lot of good friends here. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the guys tonight for sure, and obviously I can't wait to play here tomorrow. I'm so pumped about it.
What was a bigger surprise for you, getting traded to Tampa or getting traded away from Tampa?
Probably getting traded to Tampa, to be honest. I think that I was kind of informed that morning of the deadline 2 years ago that I think fairly safe to not move. So I guess we were pretty shocked. Especially that's another story. Deadline was at 3 and flight was at 1. We were going to Vancouver, ironically.
So common denominator, Vancouver.
Story. I got to tell the story.
Let's go. We get filling air,
it was
man.
me. I just saw Mark Stahl and I guess he and Chris Kreider the other day. We just played the Rangers a couple days ago in Vancouver. And on the way to Vancouver, 3:01 hit. We're playing cards. We're about halfway to Vancouver. And I looked at Stalzy and Matt Zuccarello and Chris Kreider. I said, well, boy, that's another deadline down. And I swear it was 10 seconds later, Glenn Saylor came back, another one of these. It was like full circle. He came on the bench. He's like, Millsy, we just traded you to Tampa. And my first question was, I was kind of giggling. I'm like, I thought he was joking. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, you're going as soon as we land. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to fly. That next 3 hours is pretty awkward at the card table. Not much.
Was Mac on the trip or no?
Mac didn't go on the trip. Right? He was hurt. So they all knew. Hazy came back and he said, Mac just got traded. We're all like, oh man, their captain, like crazy. And that's when
Classic
I said, deadline. I was like, deadline down.
Yeah.
Another finger. I'm like, oh my God. It was like complete full circle.
Same flight to Vancouver. You can't make this stuff up, folks.
Got to go out with the boys' rookie party when we landed, though, because we had rookie party. So I stayed and went out with the boys.
Nothing to save it for, nothing the next day. You're like,
came back, played 3 games in 3.5 days with a 1 o'clocker. It was wild. But I would say the shocker would definitely be that one. I mean, I was kind of under the impression that we were obviously we knew we were tight for cap, so just kind of starting to add up a little bit. So I was more prepared for the second one.
Is it true that once you heard that G was retiring, you said, get me out of Tampa Bay. I can't play here anymore if G's not going to be with me?
That's exactly what I said.
He's like, who's going to organize dinners now?
I'm like,
G's gone. What the heck is that?
Who's going to steal my jokes all the time now?
Yeah, who's going to say your joke's louder in the room?
I thought Killer was the guy that did dinner reservations.
No, well, yeah, it was him and Shu for a long time, but just
Killer's reservations are the worst.
Yeah, you get the table right by the kitchen.
By the bathroom?
Yeah, right by the dishwasher.
He finds the best apple Applebee's type areas.
Oh,
to go
yeah.
to. He's pretty good at that.
He loves the Chili's. Is the best.
Millsy, do you have anything to say about Killer's calves? That was a big topic of conversation.
There are none. He doesn't have them. They're just bones.
Have you seen anything as tiny as his calves with any of your? No.
That's literally it. Like I don't know how he moves on the ice. He falls more than any human I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I watched every single Tampa game at 4:00 at our games just because I just want to watch Killer. And it kind of sucks because he's playing really well right now, so I can't even chirp
Yeah,
him.
there's nothing to say. Yeah, we did bring up the old Bambi legs, and he's always on the ice. And
I texted him the other day and said he's got to stop scoring because he's above 0.5 points per game.
usually he's about 0.5 points.
He likes
per
that
game
40,
per season.
41, 42 point mark, and he's got that already.
Way ahead of pace. He better slow down. Just
So
kidding.
it seems like we've had some guys on, like Mac's really nice. He didn't want to chirp Girardi too much, but is there anything that you would chirp G about? Because he seems to be the one that kind of goes after everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we're just pot stirrers, and honestly, I took it to Vancouver now, and it's hilarious because I steal half of the stuff he says. And, for one instance, that the Chara video, I showed the whole team that.
Oh, yeah,
where they
the
raised
voiceover?
parody, and I feel like I always tell Mizey that, and it just kills me. But I don't know, he's taught me a lot of the jokes. It's hard
You
to on the
keep it
spot,
going, man.
on the spot chirp you right now. That's tough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I already chirped his terrible hair, so I mean, I know that one hurts him.
I know it hurts him
everyone
bad. Knows it.
It hurts him real bad.
I thought the hair looked good, Dan.
we've always-
from the front. Just if you look from behind, it'd be a little situation back there.
I'll tell you what a treat is. I've never seen anybody more organized and with more itineraries than this guy right here. We could be just going to the rink in the morning, and there's a full spreadsheet on the itinerary from 9:30 to 9:40 to 9:50. The G Money experience in Buffalo. He hosts the boys at his house. We take a party bus and hop to the casino, have some dinner. I'll tell you what, it's real nice.
Yeah, I love treating the boys to that, and missed the guys to Tampa this year. They were there for New Year's Eve, but I was under the weather for like 4 or 5 days. So that was a fun Christmas.
You hung over for 5 days?
Well, yeah, the first 4 days I disregarded my body, just ate and drank like nothing. But then I think my body on the 26th Boxing Day, Canada to Boxing Day, the old body shut down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You know what? Also, I had a J.T. Miller experience in Pittsburgh once where I invited everybody over, and I think every single guy came except for G.
No, I think
I think he got a massage at the Fairmont.
Yeah, there's only like 7 guys that went. They had to take individual taxis, no party bus.
That's an actual fact.
Grilling steaks.
I told everybody it was going to be
George
a 10-minute
Foreman.
drive. It took 2.5 hours.
Hey guys, I swear, it's just through the tunnel in Pittsburgh. Only an hour and a half later, they got there. That's the worst.
JT Miller, who is Bill? I've heard about Bill. I don't know if you feel like you're able to talk about Bill, but I at least wanted to bring it up to see if you can explain to people listening just who Bill is.
Probably alter ego. Is that what you would say? I don't know. They just say I'm very blue collar. Where I'm come from, it's I'm like a hillbilly, and I think that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, hillbilly, Billy,
hillbilly. They were calling me everything last year but my name, but they said I just look more like a Bill, and honestly, I think it's pretty fitting.
It works.
Like we got to do the nickname jerseys last year, and I got Billy on mine.
That's right,
and I got to keep it too. So I actually just thought about that the other day. We were in Pittsburgh. I got to keep the. But I don't know. I just kind of stuck, and now every single guy called me Bill, except for the coaches.
So that travels. So everybody knows about it.
No, just in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
They one of the guys heard that they called me that here, and they're like, "What?" And I was like, "I haven't been called it in a year."
I will make sure I tell the guys I'll listen to the podcast, the Vancouver guys. Then they'll hear the story about Bill. Then they'll start calling you Bill. It's a very popular podcast in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's a really big podcast.
Are you anti-social media like Girardi is? Because I didn't see you at all. Yeah.
I drives me crazy when guys sit around and stare at their phone all day. I'd rather just see the videos from other people.
Yeah, like Steps
on the bus.
Derek Stepan was I gotta kind of make fun of myself. Derek Stepan used to always show YouTube clips or funny clips of things happening, and then now like when I got here, I was the guy like showing an Instagram video or like a funny YouTube. So we all roasted Steps about that, but that was kind of me now. So I got to kind of.
My rookie year, we'd all sit on the bus and chirp each other, and now everybody's dead quiet because they're on their phones, just staring at their phones. The game has definitely changed. Real quick, I got to chirp Steps since he's coming on.
Yeah,
Do you remember when AB called him in and told him he had a body of a bowler?
Yeah,
and he got him a bowling ball. I think somebody got him a bowling ball.
Someone got him a bowling ball for a present, but
he came in and we call it the 10% body fat club. Me, G Money, and Stepan were in there for many years.
Yeah, we all kept it pretty real.
Yeah,
we're not
that's a lot of bowler bodies.
Yeah, but what happened to Steps too is he got in the playoffs against Montreal, got hit in the jaw, broke his jaw, and like he couldn't eat anything. So he was already he's not a big muscular guy, but he's average guy. I'm gonna say something else. I'll leave it. But he couldn't eat anything, so he was like, there's a picture of him. He has like a beard. He's like, I don't know why I'm doing my concave chest because no one can see me, but he's all like concave. He looks like he's like, what's that? Where was Matthew McConaughey or someone loses all that weight for the one of the roles?
Oh, Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, or something like that. That like he kind of looked like that guy.
Terrible.
I was like, oh my god. Anyways, he's got a bowler body, so that's pretty much the story.
And the coach called him in because he wanted to question it. That was the best part.
You don't have an Instagram burner account like G does?
We got nothing.
Nothing.
No, I got see. That's one thing Millsy's learned from me. Two things: probably play the game the right way.
Play block shots when you have to.
Yeah, only when you have to, and just get off social media.
I saw a great YouTube video of you guys actually last night. You were at the Rays game taking batting practice, and it looked like you guys both hit one. Who hit more bombs between you guys?
I think Bill did.
Yeah, it was definitely me.
I think he hit 3, maybe 3, 4. I think I hit 2.
Yeah,
but I hit a couple at the top. I can't. Got my Girardi Rays jersey in my closet.
A big human that can't hit a baseball. Braden Coburn.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
feel
hope
bad.
Kobe hears this because he's going to appreciate it.
Well, he listens to the podcast for sure, too.
Sure.
Yeah, I was very surprised
that is
by the old swing there.
No bat speed.
Oh, it was like his hands were apart, too. It was like weird.
Morning track power.
Yeah, that was great. Anyways, let's go back to, you said something about you're a little bit blue collar, which is fine. JT Miller, Bill likes to hunt a lot.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to him in the hallway about a funny hunting story about you and your dad, possibly with a drink or something.
Yeah,
so we can talk about that a little bit.
Every year, like even this year in the All-Star break, I go home. I have some property in Ohio. We do some whitetail hunting. I like bow hunting. So we've been doing it a long time. And I just remember telling him that, he's like, you and your dad hunt? I'm like, yeah, my dad goes. Like, he hunts a lot. But when we go, he's just on a ground blind. And it was dead quiet in the woods. And all I could hear is... And I hear his and he's across the way, and just you can hear every time he opens his beer. He sent me a Snapchat from across the woods. He had 8 beer cans laying there with an arrow in the middle of him. He's like, I got one.
Yeah. Oh, your dad. That's Remember you told me that story. Trips. Yeah, I'm sure you have more, but I thought that was funny. You were telling me like it's quiet as anything.
Yeah, you can just hear the beer open across the woods. There's no
Bud Light.
No deer within 10 miles.
Yeah, all the deer that were there left.
Well, speaking of family, didn't you say that there was some sort of siblings trip that the Lightning had, and you ended up Millsy, you brought your friend that tags along with you everywhere?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Frank.
No one. Everybody knows Frank.
I feel like they do.
No one gave me a hard time at all about that. It was weird. I showed up. No one chirped me.
Yeah, no one said a word to you.
My
That's
little
weird.
brother plays hockey at Ohio State, so he obviously couldn't make the trip being in mid-season. So I asked, I think I asked AV if it was cool if my buddy came, and obviously Frank had his bags packed before I even called him.
He was already ready, knowing that your brother was playing.
My brother told me, he's like, I had the weekend off. I didn't want to go at all.
Yeah, jeez. No, and he's in town, right now?
Frank?
Yeah,
he has business here. He actually just started a
beer business.
Yes,
wine and beer business.
Just started a new job, and I think this is one of his hubs now. Tampa. He'll actually be here a lot. So.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah, he'll be. Here
we'll probably hang out for sure.
Is Frank kind of a guy that blends into the background, or does Frank he stands out and everybody knows he's there?
He's my best buddy, so he comes around. We're always obviously normally drinking together, and he loves sports. And he used to be my captain when we were like 13. We played hockey on the same travel team, so we have a good time. He's always in. The boys are always out, and they know him from hanging out at post game normally.
Yeah, he fits in just fine with the guys.
Yeah.
No, it's funny though. Everyone does know Frank.
Everybody.
Like you'll meet somebody like, oh, you meet Millsy's buddy Frank. I'm like, oh yeah, siblings trip.
You meet Millsy's buddy, and they said, oh, Frank.
Yeah, oh yeah, you meet his buddy. Oh, you mean Frank, right? Anyways, one more little story. I don't know if we can go into it. 2014 Cup final, we lose. Once again, I don't know the whole story, but all I remember is Millsy missing some buses. Do you miss the bus?
Yeah, well, the funny part about the bus is there was 2 bus times. We stayed up all night, and I think that there was a 9:45 bus and a 10 o'clock bus. I was supposed to be on the 9:45 bus, and I just slept right through the alarm, and Alex Case called me and said, Millsy, you coming? I'm like, yeah, I'll be down in a minute. It was like 10:05. So I go down and miss both buses, and then I'm walking onto the bus, and I get on the bus late, getting stink eye from everybody. And all of a sudden, Chris Kreider comes out, comes walking on the bus. Jim Ramsey walks out, gets on the bus. There ended up being like 4 guys that were late for the bus at the same exact time.
Yeah, because we all thought, oh, Millsy's the only guy. And all of a sudden, like, he's on the bus. Everyone's kind of giving it to him. And all of a sudden, you see, like...
Couldn't get out of my own way.
Cried. Yeah, and
that was
then,
a tough year.
Yeah, well, you know what? It was a tough year for everyone. We didn't get the job done.
No,
so
right.
it was a poopy finish, that's for sure.
Do you enjoy being wired for sound? You've done it obviously before, G, right? And I know that
I
done
just
it before.
talk a lot, so I mean,
It works.
Sometimes it seems like I'm trying to do that, but I just talk all game. So normally some stupid shit.
Pretty much, if people have watched my Wired for Sound, like it'd be the exact same for Millsy.
Yeah.
We
I say
we don't
there's no
stop
filter,
talking.
and if it goes in here, it's coming right back out.
Yeah, that's kind of we're kind of. I gotta say we're pretty close to the same type of guy. That's why we're clicking right now.
White collar though, and I'm blue collar. He used to be blue collar, then he went to the National Hockey League, and now he's.
No, I'm back. No, I'm back.
Are you back?
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, retired. Just.
And also, Dan has no John Barbados gear at all.
Yeah, I do. I have a bit of it.
And also, he has a stake in Wellington Brewery. I don't know if we can plug that.
I don't know if you guys heard on the podcast before. The Wellington Brewery is a big part of my life.
Big sponsor of the podcast, big supporter.
No, it can't be. No, it can't be.
It can't be. It
No,
can't be.
I don't think it can be.
It's not a supporter at all. They hate us.
I talked to Breezer.
Contact
He's
people.
we don't want to get the huge companies all upset like
Right.
Bud Light. We don't want to really step on their toes. You know, we don't want to get those guys going.
Competitors.
Yeah, that's our main competitor is Bud Light.
Millsy, I want to know, because the lighting, obviously, they put up giant Stamkos, Kucherov. Their faces are on the side of Amalie Arena. They put them on the streets. Kennedy, Dale Mabry, they're on the doors of the mall. Anywhere in Vancouver that your face is plastered? Have you seen your face in any awkward spots around town?
No, not yet. I haven't seen one. I go to the same exact entrance, and you can't see the building as obviously as well as you can here in Vancouver. You just kind of in the city, then he pops up. I'm not really looking. I mean, they have some young, good-looking cats on the team, but so I'm sure they're using their faces, not my mug.
Well, I feel like you should be up there, JT.
You want me to wear a hat?
Yeah, it'd be a backwards Canucks hat like he has on right now.
He looked at me when I came out. He's like, "You're wearing that?" And I'm like, "Well, obviously."
Well, like, he has stuff to do in the room still. I don't know who's waiting for him, the trainers or something. But
By the way, I appreciate you not taking a shower and just coming right to do the interview afterwards, because she said, hey, you might shower up, and we're like, hey, no problem.
I after practice you got to shower, but
He told me to take as much time as I needed, and then 5 minutes later, he said, "Hey, where are you? Let's go."
well, I've been sitting up in the stands watching you guys
I
play
told him
3
I'd
on
be
3
out
on
at
1 on 1.
2:00, and I think I was down here.
It was like 145. I was like, oh my god, come on, man!
We've been here since 12:30, so
I've been here watching your unbelievable practice you guys
Take as
had
much
today.
time as you need, but make it like 10 minutes.
Yeah, take all the time you need. I need you here in 5.
what do you got? You got anything else? You got a lot of notes there.
I got a lot of notes,
Yeah.
but like,
I'm full. What do you call it?
got that?
Yeah, you got. Can you make sure you put that on?
Yeah,
We'll take that out.
Sorry, I'm hung.
We'll cut that.
Titties.
Okay, well, we could finish. We'll finish with this one. It's about me, obviously. It's my podcast. What are the things you miss about me most on the ice and off the ice? Take some time. We got edit time.
Well, I think it's simple though. I think it's on the ice. I need a few guys on the ice to keep it light. I try to play like that still. Obviously, my role is changing a little bit when I get a little older now. But I think part of doing so is keeping it light. And honestly, as a competitor, I don't think there was. I hate giving you any credit at all, but you're one of the most competitive guys I've played with, and I've seen this guy play in crunch time against all the best lines in the league with Mac over the years, and block every single puck that comes his way, and can't teach that. So that's obviously I try to be a sponge around a guy like that, and off the ice he's obviously. Like I said, I hate giving you any credit. I don't even want to say it. But
He is so mad.
This actually kills me. I can't believe we had to do this.
Yeah. Stupid pug.
No.
I think G started crying when Mac was praising him. Then Matt
Well, he bought me retirement.
Mac's too nice.
Yeah, that's because coming from Mac, it's like, well, it's also serious from JT because obviously that's some good praise from JT. I respect that. It's like Mac is like he said he's so such a serious guy.
Yes.
Like it's like weird how you can
It's
describe
like a presidential debate.
He's a senator for sure. But no, that's it. No, I obviously love hearing the praise and. No, I was actually being serious. That sounded terrible.
I thought we were just gonna have 10 questions about how cool Dan is on the show.
Yeah, just talk about Wellington, John Barbados, Millsy's hats, his bell-bottom sweatpants, his dog hair infested sweatshirts and socks, that left hair everywhere in the change room. And I think that's it now. I think I just covered it all.
Killer knows I can't say any of this stuff I want to say about him.
Yeah.
And anything? Not even one little tidbit?
No, he knows. He'd find that funny.
All you got to say is he knows. He's going to laugh when he listens to the podcast for sure.
Speaking of tough hair.
In his Audi, for sure, it'll be high stepping down Bayshore.
Salt and pepper hair.
Do you want to praise JT at all for the year that he's having?
I said it like 3 times.
Okay.
He's having a great year.
I'd like to.
He won 4 times? 4 times.
I didn't catch that.
No, I think it's a nice little fresh start for JT. He had a good year and a half here in Tampa, but I think he's he's excelling in the leadership role in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I know you got a couple guys like Jordy Ben, Tyler Myers, Jay Beagle, and those guys that are a little bit older but leaders. But I think he's doing a real good job with the young guys like Brock Besser, Peterson.
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 That's Peterson.
Okay, thank you for correcting
Yeah,
that. Doing a really good job with those young guys, and I'll watch the Lightning game, and then the Canucks game's on later. I'm always up to like midnight watching hockey now, and his line's playing great, and I'll be catching it tomorrow night. Well, no one knows when this podcast airs, but I'll watch their game when they play against the Lightning.
No, this comes out the day after the game, so.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'll be watching the game, and then I'll analyze the next podcast, analyze his play. See how many stick slams and door slams we have.
Man, there's going to be a lot. Now that you said that, I got to put one in there.
Yeah, do one stick slam.
Door
That's
slam
it.
would be easy.
Door slam's better. You got to save the STX sticks. This is STX sponsor, JT Miller.
You can only get 80 a year.
You good? You got everything,
Oh, I
G?
think I got it, man. I
feel like we killed it.
Yeah, no, that was great.
I pumped in that
This has
last
to be
little bit with the dog hair. That was a huge moment.
Dan made fun of me my entire early career about having dogs, and then he went and got a dog.
Wait, you made fun of him just for having dogs or having dog
I had
hair?
dog hair on everything.
Well, hair and everything, and now his Snapchats are his kids.
Yes.
But before it was just like dogs.
I didn't know if you know this, but I have 2 dogs.
Yeah, we always say, "Hey, JT, you got a couple dogs at home or what?"
The dog's laying down.
Oh, look at this! He's sitting there staring at me, looking for a beer or something. I don't know.
I mean, before I had a kid, I had an Instagram for my 2 dogs. So, I had a lot. I mean, they didn't shed though. So
Yeah, mine were. I got labs. There's hair, and he's like a white yellow lab. It's just
they're pretty. They're beauties though. Those
they're
dogs.
good. They're good
awesome.
dogs.
I didn't even know you had a dog, G. You're holding out on me.
Exactly.
Well,
he doesn't want to.
Well, I don't really have a dog anymore. He lives with my parents back in Welland, Ontario.
I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Didn't really work out. It's a great dog, but
You shipped him up north.
he loves the cold more.
Well, we're going to have to hear more about that next episode. JT Miller, thanks a lot, man. Continue a great season, and you did a great job today. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys.